Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Tech Talk. Just want to remind everyone that we go live every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. talking about different products and what's going on here at BulletCentral.com. My name's Alex. I'm our head product specialist here at Bullet Central. And again, this week I'm joined by CEO Chris Harris. Chris, how are we doing?
Hey, great. Am I back through popular demand or just,
Oh, yeah. We had tons of people at home clamoring for you. So we're like, we got to bring the big dog back on. So here we are. This week, we are going to be going over Airguns, which is pretty exciting for us. Traditionally, we've been a powder burning company. And in the last few years here, we've added on some of our Airgun lines and things like that to our ever-growing list of products we have available. And so we thought, who better to have on than Chris Harris, the guy who used to shoot only powder burning and now is getting into the air gun field a little bit. So, Chris, why don't you kind of break that down for us and how Bullet Central kind of got involved with the FX air guns?
Yeah, true. Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, yeah.
Air guns. I grew up shooting an air gun like, a lot of our viewers probably did.
Mm-hmm.
I always enjoyed the accuracy of air rifle, but hadn't shot them for years because I was involved in bench press shooting. And one day, a very good friend of mine came around to my house. He says, "Hey, I got something to show you." I said, "What's that?" And it was a PCP air rifle, fairly cheap one actually. I went outside into the backyard, took a couple of shots with it. I said, "This is amazing." I shot a golf ball on the lawn, and went in, and he said, "Well, if you want to get the real thing, don't get what this is, but you should go get yourself the FX Impact. That's sort of like, the standard in accuracy." And I Googled. A couple of minutes later, I bought one. I bought an Impact Mark 1, the first one, and it changed my level of fun in shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, I just loved it. I loved the lack of recoil, quiet, accurate. The challenge actually of shooting with a lot of drop, because what a lot of the PRS shooters enjoy is, your ballistics over 1,1200 yards.
Yeah.
Well, with pellets, you're getting that same effect over 100 yards.
Yeah.
And you can, and today with slugs and everything, you can shoot accurately with these things out to 300 easily, right?
Wow.
Which is remarkable. Most people, can't even comprehend that. They'll say to me, "Well, how far can you shoot at this?" Thinking answer's 50 yards. Well, 300, what? So they certainly have developed immensely, and even in the years that I've been involved in it now, the last 3 years, and us as a company, the projectiles have improved, massively as well. So I got a little bit more into it, and then the next thing we did was decide, well, let's become an FX reseller.
Sure.
It's the only air rifle that we've really sold to date. And we sell the full range from Dreamline all the way up to the Impact. The Impact is like the flagship of the range. The rest of them all use the similar highly accurate barrel liner system.
Mm-hmm.
The Impact is the rifle that is it's got the most amount of tuning ability, right? It provides you with a long, in certain cases, 800 millimeter barrel. I think it comes in 500, 600, 700, and 800. So you can get like a little compact version. The cool thing about it as well, there's quite a lot of aftermarket accessories you can add on and tinker and change your grip style that uses an AR grip, different stocks.
Is that something that you really found to be cool about the air rifles, is just how customizable you can really make them? You can literally make your own unique gun is going to be just as unique to you as...
Big time. My bench rest world is literally like the Formula One of powder burning shooting, right? And so there, everything's custom.
Sure.
There's no such thing as, having a real brand name other than for maybe the receiver and the barrel. So I'm always attracted to that type of thing, taking things to
customizability,
the next level. Yeah. And so we weren't long into reselling the rifles when I got to know Ernest Rowe,
Yep.
which a lot of the viewers, if they're into Airguns, will know.
Familiar with Airguns, yeah.
Yeah,
Ernest is
he's
the guy.
like the planet Earth's guru. And he and I are becoming very good friends. He has a genius mind for air rifles. I mean, I could talk to you for hours about how he gets into things. We won't now, but just to say, you know, he has got the knack of taking any gun and within minutes, you know, looking at it, he's identified where you can improve things. So between him and I, we started discussing, you know, how we would improve the probe, you know, to have a better supply of air to the projectile. The magazine, you know, we can chat about that.
That's one of the products I wanted to highlight today.
Yeah. This is probably one of the most challenging design projects I've ever got into.
Really?
It's you know, and so what we plan to do first we wanted to make sure we could shoot the biggest slugs in the 22. So you'll see they've got different colors for the carousels. That's a 22, this is a 30. And so we designed a mag that essentially would shoot your heavy slugs, right?
Yep.
But then this whole thing got out of control, right? And so now, you know, we designed a mag. It's got, you know, I've got to put a bearing in it.
Yep.
We've got a constant force spring. So like, you know, when you pull out a tape measure, the tension's the same whether it's, you know, 1 foot or 6 foot, right? Same concept inside here. So you got a constant force all the way around. The spring we're using in here is more than sufficient to push a full set of 35 cal.
Oh yeah, I was playing around with one yesterday. About snapped my finger.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of force behind it.
Yeah, it's got, you know, the right amount of force to make sure you're not going to end up with jams. The thing that Ernest really pushed with me was to make sure that, you know, we load these things with pellets, right? And then your probe comes in and pushes a pellet out into the breech of the air rifle. And he, you know, being what he is, worked with me to make sure that the path of that pellet leaving the magazine was perfect, right? Yeah. So when you run this mag, sometimes, honestly, you can run the cocking lever and you don't even know that there's a pellet there. It's just so smooth. It's just leaving it out of the magazine, no hitches in the breech, and now you've got an undamaged projectile that's sitting in the breech. And a couple other cool little things. We put the other thing, we designed this to come up with a left-hand mag for lefties for impact.
Yeah, we were going to highlight that. There's a special bracket that you guys designed and manufactured so you can put that on any of our M3 line. That's a Pantera there, but I have an M3 behind me. So you can basically convert the right-handed rifle into a left-handed rifle with the attachment of one bracket, which is pretty sweet.
So if you're tired of having this magazine, you know
in your face,
banging
while
you
you're
in
shooting.
the face, you can change to a left hand now and get that going. In fact, the very beginning, the seed of this magazine was to create a left-hand mag, and then, as I said, the whole thing got out of control. You know, but I'm really proud of this. It's a very cool product. A lot of, you know, nice little things to it. We got
pretty robust
a
too,
mag
isn't
cover.
it?
It's made out of aluminum, basically polycarbonate cover. And yeah, it's slick, you know, it looks good too. So there's that. We've done, we've worked with Newman Buck, who's another, you know, air rifle guru. And there we've designed the pinpoint trigger shoe. We got another 2 trigger shoes in the work that I'm probably not going to talk about too much, but that's coming out.
Sneak peek.
In fact, we're working on that today. We've done the shrouds.
I was going to say, do you want to highlight some of the shrouds a little bit? Because I know that's a big undertaking that Chris Lumberg, our airgun specialist here in the office, undertook, was designing and kind of working on those alongside you to what's going to be your added advantage of going with a BC custom shroud?
Well, if there's one weakness to the impact then it would be the fact that the barrel system is relatively flimsy, right?
Sure.
So we don't have the luxury of a big bull barrel like you would in center fire, right?
Yep.
And our barrel could be flapping around. And we don't want that. We want the thing to be as stiff as possible. FX came out with a clever concept, and that was to have a carbon fiber sleeve around the barrel itself. There's a liner, then a barrel, then there's got the sleeve, and that stiffened things, right? And then what we did, we added to that the concept of a shroud. You can see the carbon fiber there. So that goes now around the whole system, adding even further strength to rigidity, I beg your pardon, to the barrel system. And it looks sexy too. And so
definitely.
Yeah. So there's that. The very first thing I did, and probably no one here even knows that I did it, but was I did a butt pad for the impact to be able to ride the bags when shooting bench rest. Okay, so it's that little rubber thing gets replaced with it. Yeah. So that's something we should probably even bring back into production because it was, people liked it. Yeah, that's it.
So overall,
it's fun.
So one of the biggest things that you were after when you did add that FX line is to our inventory was just after the customizability and, just the fun, the accuracy. And they're definitely, a lot quieter than a traditional firearm. So, you can use them, especially like in potentially like an urban environment if you have to control your pests.
Mm-hmm. Well, wouldn't do that.
Yeah, in town, but if you need...
It depends on your local laws,
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Make sure to stick to those, folks.
Yes.
But so thank you for coming on today and kind of going over our history of the Airguns here with us at BC. And we're gonna bring Zach on here shortly, and he's gonna kind of talk about some of our matches. So
okay, you gonna try to get rid of me now?
Well, yeah. I mean, we can't keep you too busy. You got trigger shoes to
make some things. Well, I'll close with one thing, and that is for those of you watching that are set on the powder burner side and you haven't shot a PCP air rifle yet, and you love shooting, do yourself the favor of borrowing one or something and just go and trying it out, because I think it'll be a definitive moment for you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah. Gotta sneak around the...
I'm so fun. Yeah.
Or you could just swing it out and swing it back in.
Yeah, could try that method. All right, guys. We got Zach joining me here. Zach's head of sales here at Bullet Central. So everyone give a warm welcome to Zach.
How we doing? Fellas and ladies?
The in-studio audience isn't very hyped. It doesn't sound like they want Chris back.
Well, we kind of need, like, you ever seen, like, an episode of Friends where you hit the button and they start
clapping, like laugh tracks and stuff?
We're gonna have to introduce that.
Yeah, well, the more people watch, the bigger our budget gets here, so keep growing the pod.
Especially if, you say kind of a lame joke, we can
tweak it up, really get the crowd involved. All right. But the reason we wanted to have Zach on today is we're kind of, sticking to the theme of air guns today. And one of the things that we wanted to go over is kind of the big four matches that we have in the air gun world. I know a lot of the powder burning guys that shoot a lot of contests, they might not think like, well, why would I want to get into the air gun side of things? It's not as competitive, there's not the draw. And we're just kind of here talking about how, that might be a misconception. There's actually quite a few big matches around the United States, and plenty of opportunity to get out shooting these air guns in a competitive setting.
Yeah, so I get the question a lot. Am I good, Rail? Good on audio? Okay. I get the question a lot, especially from the PRS shooters and some of our sponsored guys that are already shooting the PRS or the NRL, that are seeing these guys win some big money or, win checks of certain amounts that it gets them excited, and they're like, what's going on over here? And, what could possibly,
what all goes into this?
Yeah, what all goes into it. So right now, currently, that I know of, there's 4 big matches kind of around the U.S. One that we attended this year, we attended the Northeast Airgun Challenge, which was up in New Hampshire, which was a fun match put on by those guys. We were at RMAC last year, which is in Utah. We were at, I was at Airguns of Arizona in Phoenix. So that was a lot of fun. The only one I haven't been to is the Pyramid Cup. I believe it's in Ohio. So they're kind of spread out, which is quite nice for those guys that are looking to get into it. And the matches really kind of cater to all. So, a PRS shooter may be thinking, I don't want to shoot bench rest, but I still want to shoot in the match. So they still have that PRS option for those guys. There's a kind of a section called Big Bore, which almost kind of looks like F class, but PRS combined. So you're shooting bigger calibers out to longer distances.
You'd say like that 35 cal range?
Yeah, 35 cal, even bigger, 50 cal and such. So it's quite interesting. And then they also have the bench rest version that kind of, got Chris excited and getting into these competitions. And honestly, I went to the first one and I didn't shoot at it, but I was really kind of scoping it out and seeing what could come of this and what would be fun to shoot. And I ended up wanting to shoot in all of them, but you just have to get a spot.
Pick and choose. Yeah,
pick and choose. Or if you get a spot, they a lot of them work pretty well with scheduling, so you can shoot in them. And why I touch on that is I know you guys touched on the guns a little bit, and I do get the questions from those guys, should I go with the Impact or the Panthera? And honestly, I see both being shot in both competitions, but they redesigned the Panthera to have that 15 shot bottle with the Arca rail already built in on the bottom. And it's really more designed for that type of shooting, I guess, with the balance points.
Yep.
So that's quite exciting, and I think a lot of the guys should be getting more into it if they do have a weekend off, or as Chris touched in, ballistics. So if you're teaching your kid or your son or daughter or your wife, or anybody that you're trying to teach to shoot,
get into the sport.
Get into the sport. Yeah, you can really learn the ballistics on a smaller scale without recoil, without super loud noise. So that's really attractive.
It can get you out on the range shooting something that is really accurate at a long distance.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily the same as like a powder burning rifle. You're going to be able to get out there and.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys shooting like the rimfire world.
Yep.
A lot of the rimfire competitions have actually added a top air gun category. So you usually have your top youth, your top lady, top marksman and stuff like that. They actually, a lot of them are starting to add top air
gun.
Yeah, actually on Sunday, Lundberg and I think are going to shoot a local match here in Horse, so just a few miles away. And he just built a new rimfire, so he's going to shoot that. But I think I'm going to shoot the Panthera out there and give it a shot and see how
it goes. Try and win a little bit of contest money.
Yeah, exactly. It's only 10 minutes from the house, so it's a hard match to turn up. So.
Yeah, might as well if it's that close. And who knows? You win that little bit of contest money, and you might be able to get some pellets for your Pest Fest entries in July.
Exactly. and one of the things I did want to touch on is the guys that are affiliated with like the PRS or the NRL, or even the guys that are in the competition shooting that aren't. We're more than willing to work with you on kind of getting a package deal and set up at the right price to get you into this type of shooting, because it's one of some of the funner times I've had.
And it's up and coming. It's kind of one of those new things that's, just kind of starting to gain some popularity.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely starting to take off.
There's a organization I think called Pro Air. One of my good friends, Duke, he's actually affiliated with FX, but he had started Pro Air with a few people, and it's going to kind of be that governing board, and they're looking to add more matches and more prize table stuff. But right now,
grow the sport.
Grow the sport, yeah, exactly. And I think right now, someone 2 weeks ago just walked away with 20,000 at bench rest and 20,000 at PRS.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I think Arizona was like 7,500.
Yeah, so it's coming along. And the more people that get into it, the higher those purses are going to climb.
Yeah, exactly. And the more opportunities for shooting events around the U.S. and can only see where it takes us. But I just did want to touch on that. So for the guys that are asking, we would like to help you guys out and get you into this.
Yeah, and so staying kind of on theme with air guns and even a little bit of powder burning here, we're going to get into Pest Fest, which you guys know we've been teasing on the Tech Talks here for the past month or so. That does kick off here at today's the 27th, so
yeah, July 1st.
July 1st, we're gonna get
Saturday.
Yeah, so perfect. First day of Pest Fest is gonna land on a weekend, so you guys can get out and get after that. Just a quick reminder on some of the guidelines for that. You can enter on Facebook or Instagram. Just use the hashtag PestFest23. You must be following, obviously, to be considered for any kind of the prizes or anything. But each week, we're going to give $100 away to a random entry of the contest. So if you submit anything, Pest Fest related, whether that's, gophers or coyotes or, big boar, anything like that, iguana, please make sure to follow all of your local hunting regulations, please, and firearm ordinances in and around city limits too. Just make sure to follow your local laws, please. But we are going to have that kicking off, and then $50 a week to the best pest. So that'll be, most unique or coolest shot or best photo or, anything along those lines. You guys can definitely enter for that. And then at the end of Pest Fest, we're going to give away $500. And the way to enter for that is if you submit a photo throughout the entire event, that'll be one entry into that. And we will announce a winner for that at the end of the month, July 31st.
Are you making them hashtag anything or tagging or how are we going to find those photos?
So if you use the hashtag PestFest23, we'll be able to search that, and then we'll do a random generator in order to pick who wins those. So make sure that you're submitting those photos. Make sure you're using the hashtag PestFest. Tag some buddies if you guys want to make a little, contest amongst yourselves too. That can always be fun. But you can be entered to win the big money here at the end of the month if you get out and help clean up your community a little bit. Yeah. Round up some of those pests.
Yeah. Oh, man. But no, yeah, that's... Okay, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, so we're excited to hear from you guys at home. It doesn't matter if you want to use your air rifle, if you want to use your 22, whatever you got, get out there, get after
50
something.
cal.
Yeah, put a hole in it. I'm kidding. We just want to make sure that, everyone's following their local regulations is really the biggest thing. And then also trying to, clean up some of those invasives or pest animals that we have around. So that's kind of the idea behind the contest. Like I said, you guys, that's going to start on Saturday, July 1st. And run through, I don't know what day it is, but it'll be July 31st at the end of the month. So, and we'll be giving you guys the live updates each week, announcing winners. All of that good stuff is going to be live right here on Tech Talk every Tuesday at 10:30.
And I think you touched on it last week. What are we doing for subscribers? Aren't you?
Thank you for bringing that up as my next point. We also want to remind you guys that we are doing a subscriber giveaway on our YouTube. So at 2,000 subscribers, we're going to give away a set of dies to 2 lucky viewers. So please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Throw the Tech Talk videos a like. Throw any of the other content a like. It really helps us out. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with Pest Fest and our YouTube subscribers contest that we have running here. So the faster you guys get that up, the better we'll be. And then if we do reach our goal of 2,000, I know that I've talked to Charles a little bit about potentially doing another giveaway at 5,000. So you guys have something to look forward to there. Let's get that sub number up. We want the numbies up.
You know what's frustrating?
What's that?
I didn't get a deer tag this year.
Well, you'll have to apply to a different state. Try
That's
Minnesota.
True. That's true. But the plan behind this year, which I was excited about, but unfortunately I didn't get one, was to use the 35 cal air gun, pushing a 140 grain slug, about 700 feet per second. And that allows us in our legal law for North Dakota to hunt white-tailed deer or mule deer. Yeah. So I was excited to do a spot and stock with one this year and get it all on video for the guys and gals out there. But unfortunately, we'll have to wait.
Well, there's always next year, Zach.
Yeah,
we all know you would have missed anyways.
The bow and arrow is going to have to be my We're gonna have to Robin Hood
The
this
weapon
year.
of choose
Yeah,
or
exactly.
choice. Choose.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
not a word.
But no, yeah, that sounds good. Well, I'll land it off there.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap her up here. Thank you guys for tuning in again. Oh, one more thing before I forget. Next week, because the 4th of July is on Tuesday, we are going to move Tech Talk until Wednesday. So it's going to be Wednesday, July 5th. Same time, 10:30 in the morning. But just keep that in mind since the holiday is next week. We are not going to be doing it on
Wednesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, Wednesday, July 5th. Nice little hump day breakup for you.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. We're going to sign off. Have a good rest of your week.
Thanks.